My fraternity was the Gateway, the University of Alberta newspaper. That's what I joined. I was in St. Joe's College, but I wasn't a very active part of college life. I went to the thing I knew, and it was the Gateway, and I became active then. Then sort of a couple of accidents happened. I'd been involved at home just before I left High River. Had to do with Highway 2 and where it would go, whether it would go through the town, which we thought was a good thing that would bring commerce and business. And the social credit government had a very able minister of education who represented High River. But they were putting the road around the town. And so there was a liberal conservative candidate who ran against Ivan Casey. He'd been the mayor of High River, Ross Ellis, a distinguished veteran of the Second World War, who won. And I got involved in his campaign because I was 16, and I thought the highway going out missing the metropolis of High River was a terrible thing for the highway. My views on that have changed. But so I'd been involved in these kinds of things. Oh, and there's one very big intervening factor in my life to which I should refer. In 1956, there was a speakers contest run by the Rotary Club, and I won. Speech, in fact, was about the development of printing in Western Canada, and I had a little bit of editorial help by a fellow who lived 6 doors down the back alley, whose name was W.O. Mitchell. And he helped me a little bit in the presentation of the my piece. But anyway, I won the contest. And I came where we are, to the House of Commons, as an 18-year-old, 17-year-old. And the debate that was going on was the pipeline debate, arguably the most dramatic debate of the post-war era. And a couple of people in High River knew people in the official opposition. I remember quite funny because I wanted to go in to see the debate, but you couldn't get in. The lines went out to the street. You just could not get in to see the debate. And one day I ducked out. I looked, and I saw there was no line. So I ducked out of my formal program, and suddenly I was in the House of Commons watching a debate. I'd never heard of private members' hour. The reason there was no line was that it was not a debate about the pipeline. It was a debate about railway between Princess and Patricia in southeastern Alberta. And naturally, there weren't many of us who were interested in that. But that was the first time I sat in the House. The issue was very important. Mr. Diefenbaker, at some point, came to High River after that. I was the president of the Students' Union. No. Yes. And no, I wasn't. I was the editor of the paper. And my father said, you are an official of the town. You have to go when the leader of the opposition comes, any leader of the opposition comes, you have to go. And I went, and I listened to Mr. Diefenbaker. I was the youngest by 20 years in the room. And on the way out, he had no idea who I was, but he recognized my age. He sat down beside me, and he said, what are you doing? What are you going to do? And spent 5 minutes talking to me about the country, and then he got up and went out. That, on the way to university, affected my view of national affairs. And I have to say that I was one of many people of that age and generation who got caught up in his vision of a new and greater Canada. And while it didn't really have much to do with what the Gateway reported or wrote about, that was also another interest of mine. But when I went to university, the stronger interest was the newspaper. That was my base point. And then, as time went on, I became more active in the political party.